Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you so much for joining me. First up, it's Women's Health Wednesday with FEM Medical and Spa. And today, Dr. Scott is breaking down painful intercourse symptoms for women. This is a subject people don't talk about. Then it's Women's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial. And today, Caleb is sharing about the Indiana Public Retirement System employees and how they can have income planning. And a little bit later, it's Epic Discounts at Epic Prices. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
This segment sponsored by FEM Medical and Spa. Welcome back to Women's Health Wednesday with FEM Medical and Spa. And today we're going to talk about some symptoms that women don't talk about enough, which includes vaginal dryness, bladder issues, and so much more. So today joining us is, of course, the expert, Dr. Ashley Scott. Hello, doctor.
Hello. Good to see you again.
You too. Okay, so I love that we go places that people don't go.
Yes.
When it comes to conversation, and we keep it real. And you are an expert in all of these things. So what is happening with the female body?
Okay, so as women go through that aging process and we're starting to deplete our estrogen stores, we focus a lot on hot flashes and night sweats, but a lot of women don't want to talk about the things that they feel are embarrassing, the menopausal symptoms that are happening below the belt. So that would be vaginal dryness, bladder symptoms, painful intercourse. All of these things are happening, and everything else in menopause, like hot flashes and night sweats, those are transient. They will eventually stop. But the symptoms that are happening below the belt, those are progressive. If not treated, they will just get worse.
Interesting. Okay, so does that correlate? Does vaginal dryness cause painful sex, or are those two separate symptoms?
Well, vaginal dryness can cause painful sex, but painful sex can also be as a result of other things. So maybe if there's some muscle dysfunction or if there's endometriosis present. So there's lots of things, but specifically for women as they age, when you have vaginal estrogen loss, what's happening with the tissue? Well, not only is it drier, the tissue is losing its elasticity, it's losing its collagen, so it's thinner, the blood flow is less. So it's more prone to injury from even the slightest bit of trauma, and that can cause a lot of discomfort for women.
That is fascinating. Okay, so what causes the actual dryness part? Is that the estrogen levels as well?
So yes, the estrogen loss leads to that decrease in collagen. The collagen is what helps to make that tissue thick. So when there is lubricant there, then the lubricant has something to hold on to. But if you don't have the estrogen, the tissue gets really thin, the collagen loss, that leads to the dryness. And that's what causes the discomfort, because it's like a lot of friction. There's nothing there to lubricate that tissue and make it more comfortable. But then beyond that, what we also know is that it increases your risk for infections. So it changes the vaginal pH, and that change in the vaginal pH can increase an imbalance of bacteria that can lead to not just vaginal infections, but bladder infections as well. So women don't necessarily need to wait until these things happen. If I know that you're in perimenopausal transition, then we can start you on this therapy because, like I said, it's progressive. If it's not treated, it will just continue to get worse with time.
Get worse. Oh, wow. So it's so funny. I think about, we focus so much on trying to get collagen in our faces, right, to keep them plump. But you're saying collagen needs to be all
everywhere. You need it. If it's important for your face, it's absolutely important for the vaginal tissue as well.
Okay.
Yes.
And so what are treatment options to help with this? Because you say if it goes too far, is it reversible?
Well, it can be fixed, but we want to be as proactive as we possibly can. So there are topical agents, so the vaginal estrogen that comes in a cream or a vaginal suppository or a ring. But what I am pushing more in my office is vaginal rejuvenation treatments. So what does that entail?
Yeah, I've heard of that. What does that entail?
So this is great because, the creams, they can be kind of messy, and it's something that you have to do every day for a while, but, something that you're doing long term. term. And that's just not sexy. So if you can do a vaginal rejuvenation treatment, it's in office, and it involves, I usually use 2 modalities. I'm using an internal vaginal probe, and that's with the use of radiofrequency heat. So by heating the tissue, I'm going to stimulate that collagen to grow. I'm going to stimulate more elastin. That's going to help to improve lubrication. It also helps to improve the sensation in the vagina. It can also help with urinary incontinence. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with even one modality. But then in addition to that, I add on my Aerolace Neo device. So this is a very gentle laser that can be used in this area. It's not painful. We don't use any numbing. And that helps to rejuvenate the external part of the vagina called the vulva. So it makes it nice and tight. And so I'm essentially, everything that the vaginal estrogen can do, these treatments can do. And they're going to do it a whole lot faster. So I'm going to make that tissue healthier and younger a lot faster.
And tighter.
Yes, and tighter.
Okay, so that's so fascinating. I never knew how it worked. I've heard of this through the Real Housewives, because they do all the treatments. But that's so interesting. And so when that treatment is done on someone, what is the age recommendation that you recommend someone starting?
Okay,
and is it one or multiple treatments?
So it's typically 3 treatments the way that I do it in my office if I'm using both modalities. And you can start as young as in your 20s. I've had some patients who came in, after having a baby, and they just wanted to get things back tighter. So you can do that, but there is no age limit, and there's also no gender specification for any of this either.
What do you mean?
So what I mean by that is, intimacy, it's a team sport. So if we're only focusing on the woman, but as we know that as men age, their sexual performance is going to change as well. They're also going to experience urinary symptoms such as leakage or incontinence, and they never want to talk about it, especially if women don't want to talk about it. Men really don't want to talk about it. But, we have modalities that can treat both partners. So it doesn't
in your office?
In my office. So it doesn't make sense, we get the woman's, sexual function better, but then her partner is still suffering because now they still both cannot enjoy intercourse the way that they would like to.
Okay, that's really fascinating. We recently talked on the show about ED and men suffering with that. And so you're saying that if they do suffer with ED, that's something that you can help treat and other things as well. That's fascinating.
Yes.
So you have men clients come in.
Yes.
You have men clients come in.
Yes, and not a lot, but this is exactly why we wanted to bring some awareness to it, to say, hey, it's not just for women. Men need to pay attention to this as well.
So one last thing before I let you go, Ashley, the urinary part of it, the incontinence, the leakage. So does that just naturally happen as aging happens for women, or is it triggered by you had a baby or you have some type of pressure that's sitting on your bladder?
Oh, there is lots of mechanisms of how this works. So you have stress incontinence, urge incontinence. So stress is more like coughing, sneezing, laughing, and that's usually as a result of a weakness in the tissue. So a lot of women who've maybe had large babies or multiple, vaginal births, they might experience that form of incontinence. But then there's urge incontinence as well. So that also can be triggered by the trauma of birth. But, age and loss of estrogen can also help to stimulate that as well. So it just depends, if not having children does not exclude you from having, that as a potential diagnosis in the future.
And you have your Emcella chair.
Yes, and Emcella is great because it's going to stimulate the muscles in the pelvic floor. So it's not just helping the incontinence, but it also can help with sexual dysfunction for men and women. So you get a lot of, good things even out of one treatment in our office.
All right, that's some good stuff that we talked about. We have to dive deeper in the urinary part of it and maybe focus on that in a future conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think a lot of people suffer.
Oh yeah, I got some good stuff for that too. So
well, thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
And if you would like more information about FEM Medical and Spa, we'll have their website listed below. You can check out their services, book your appointment if you're a man or a woman to get help with all of these treatments. And I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by FEM Medical and Spa.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Enjoy fun in the sun on Living Local 15. Become a tourist in your own city. Visit your favorite spots and have some fun with me. From kayaking to rappelling off a building, I show you ways to have an adventure in Northeast Indiana every weekday morning at 9 on WANE 15. So join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15.
Watch Living Local 15 with Jessica Williams weekdays at 9 on WANE 15 and catch past episodes on WANE.com.
This segment sponsored by Foster Financial. It is time for another edition of Women's Wealth Wednesday with Foster Financial, and joining me today is their Vice President, Caleb Doan. Hey there, Caleb.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good. Okay, so the last Women's Wealth Wednesday, we had spoke about retirement for teachers and some options that they have. And today we're going to break down income planning?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
right.
Talk to me about what this subject is all about.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of teachers, they might be off for summer break right now, but a lot of them are in the Indiana public retirement system. And one aspect of that plan for at least a lot of the teachers is a pension. And so there aren't a lot of jobs, especially in the private sector, there aren't a lot of jobs that have a pension plan. In the public sector, it's a little bit more common, but it can really change how retirement looks if you have a pension available to you. And so I think a lot of times that we hear these different rules of thumb in retirement, and I feel like I'm often a proponent of not using these rules of thumb in retirement because they don't apply to everyone. Everyone needs kind of a custom tailored financial plan. In my experience, a lot of people do. And so if we have two different folks, let's say they're neighbors, right? And they both need $5,000 a month to live comfortably. And so that's what they want in retirement. Social Security, is going to cover $2,000 per month, okay? So there's a gap of $3,000 per month for each of these people in retirement that they need to use their investment accounts or pension or whatever to satisfy that gap. Let's say one person has a pension and one person doesn't, okay? So the person with a pension, that pension covers an additional the full $3,000, let's say. So they've got all of their income needs taken care of between Social Security and the pension. That person with the pension needs a lot less money saved up for retirement in order to retire comfortably than the person who, needs the same level of income, has the same Social Security, but doesn't have the pension. It's possible that person needs, without the pension, they might need $500,000 to $1 million in retirement, depending on how long they're going to live, what other one-time expenses come up in retirement. The person with the pension might be perfectly fine with $200,000 in their 403B to last them all the way through retirement. So having a pension can drastically change the amount of money that you need to retire comfortably. And I think a lot of times people will hear that rule of thumb that you need $500,000 or you need $1 million or whatever it might be in order to retire. With a pension, the calculation looks completely different.
Okay, one thing that you said that stuck out to me is usually public companies don't have pensions, but private companies do. Is that what you said?
The opposite.
Okay,
so public jobs are more likely to have a pension.
Okay, so how does one, so if they're looking for a job, let's say that they're starting off their career young or they're making a job change, is that disclosed, like I guess in the benefits packet? And how often do pensions really stick?
It usually is very prominent in the benefits package if a pension is available, just because it's a very expensive benefit for the employer to add, and so usually that's part of the allure of taking a job that has a pension is that, hey, maybe the salary is a little bit lower or whatever it might be, but there's this pension that kind of brings up the benefits for somebody. And so usually there's a long vesting schedule in order to be able to qualify for that pension there. And so it, companies look at it as something that retains, top talent employees and helps them stick around for a lot longer. So it can be really beneficial to both sides, but yeah, if you have a pension, it impacts your financial plan very significantly, and so it kind of changes a lot of the calculations and needs to be factored in.
That's fascinating. Okay, so you say a vesting period, which is the amount of time that someone needs to stay with the company. What is typically that, on average, I'm just putting you on the spot, but like what is typically a reasonable time frame? Is it like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah, maybe 10 years to like start getting some of those benefits. But then the benefits are also just based on your total tenure there, right?
Okay,
so I mean, at 10 years, let's say, maybe you're vested in the pension, but if you were to leave, your benefits would be a lot smaller. You know, the monthly income would be a lot smaller than if you stayed there for 30 years. But then at least you're getting something if you were to leave. If you leave before you vest, then oftentimes you're not getting anything, and some of that money gets kind of recaptured by the employer.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we talked about two scenarios, and person one, person two. So at Foster Financial, you can help both. So how do you really go about when it comes to planning for this?
Yeah. So certainly we'll call on, with the client, do fact-finding calls with the client, right? Yes, we love our fact-finding calls. And then we'll run estimates on the pension. And so we'll say, all right, we want to understand, let's say the client's 62 right now. If they were to retire today, what is the benefit that they would get from the pension? If they were to retire at 65, what is the benefit that they would get from the pension? And we can look at those different scenarios, factor in their other retirement accounts like a 403B or 401k, and we can let them know, hey, it can make sense for you to retire at 62 years old based on what we expect Social Security to be, what your pension is going to be, and then the supplemental income from your retirement account. And then it gives the client options. They might have previously thought that they had to work until 65 or 67 in order to retire. But when we get those quotes on the pension, we can tell you what the options are for you.
Yeah, fascinating. I love this information that you're sharing, because I think about when I was younger and starting off in just jobs, I was not aware of what a pension meant. It's like you learn about 401ks for my first corporate job, but they didn't offer pension. But I think it's something that's really good to have the knowledge. Therefore, you know what your options are, so you can go in stronger as you decide on your career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, well, thank you so much, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you would like more information about Foster Financial, we'll have their website listed below and their phone number as well. You can contact them for a complimentary consultation, and I'll see you after the break. This segment sponsored by Foster Financial.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Do you want to know the best places to go to eat and drink around Northeast Indiana? Well, join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15, weekdays at 9 a.m. as I take you inside of the best restaurants, new and old, explore their menu, and of course, mix up some cocktails. Where will I go next? Well, you'll have to watch and see, but I want to know, where do you recommend I go?
Keep up with Jessica Williams on Living Local 15, weekdays at 9.
Welcome to Epic Discounts by BestReviews.com. I'm Melissa Bergamini.
And I'm Ashley Howard. Now, before we take the next step, take out your phone and scan that QR code on your screen, because we are ready to save big.
That is right. And from staying cool, saving time in the kitchen, to getting out on the water, we've got something for everyone on today's show.
All right, so let's get right to it. First up is the Cuisinart Food Processor. The 14-cup bowl, paired with a variety of blades, can chop and blend vegetables for dips, puree soups, whip up sauces, and much more. And thank goodness, it is easy to clean too. It's dishwasher safe, so less time in the kitchen means more time playing games.
And there's no such thing as being bored. With the MetaQuest 3S, you can access to thousands of VR and AR games, and you can even use it to work out with immersive fitness games. You can stream your favorite shows and movies on a theater-sized virtual display, and it's not only just for entertainment. You can open multiple floating virtual monitors around you for work, so you're never stuck on a single screen.
Ooh, sounds like a dream to me.
I agree.
It's not a secret, people. It's been a hot summer, and if you are struggling to keep your space cool, then you're going to want this dreamy bladeless tower fan. It's got a built-in temperature sensor to help maintain airflow, and you can control it with a remote or download the app and run it from your phone. The gyro wings rotate up and down so you can direct airflow directly where you want it. Plus, it oscillates left to right for full room coverage. It also comes with multiple speeds and a sleep mode that dims the screen lights at night so it won't disturb your rest.
I think I need this in my room. And another way to get some fresh air is to get active outside. The Nymphian inflatable stand-up paddleboard is durable and stable for all skill levels, and there's even room to bring your furry friend along for the ride. It comes with an adjustable paddle, a safety leash, pump repair kit, and more. Whether you're into yoga on the water, surfing, exploring, or fishing, this board, it does it all.
Nice. So everyone, let's take one last look at today's products helping you save money.
Head to epicdiscounts.com or just scan that QR code to scan, shop, and save with Epic Discounts by Best Reviews.
Best Reviews is owned by our parent company, Nexstar. You can find more on the products and where to buy them on WANE.com.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group. Go to the Living Local 15 page on WANE.com for recipes from the show, to watch a segment again, and to get information on products and services featured on Living Local 15. Content segments during today's Living Local 15 were paid for by these sponsors.